Button is hit. We are go.
All right. So if you're joining us in the future, feel free to skip about 2 minutes ahead. That should be up for the theme song. But otherwise, we'll continue on with our antics. Mark, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Doing fine. I'll apologize for right now if there's noise from like traffic or other stuff because I'm in a parking lot.
In a parking lot, huh?
Yeah, that sounds like it needs
Yeah.
explanation.
No, it's not all that exciting. My oldest son generally drives my younger boys up to their Wednesday night church activities, and he's taking a test for his final exams right now. So I ran him up, and I thought, I'll just sit up here and we can do our thing, and I'll just sit and wait for him to get done.
Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man.
That for Mark's son.
So,
All right. I'm getting my stuff all ready to
And
go.
everyone knows it.
anyway, but we've got a group of young kids over here that they're apparently teaching them how to change a tire on a car. So they're going in turn, each of them.
All right.
I tried to get a bit away from them, but I don't know. Maybe I should move the car.
See, kids love that sort of thing. I remember, we were doing stuff with Cub Scouts. Like, one of the favorite nights that we did Cub Scouts was I had the older boys who were 4th and 5th graders. And we just went around the room. We did the handyman stuff. We learned how to check the oil in the car. We learned how to use a plunger in a toilet, which was all sorts of fun going into the bathroom and doing that with them, right? Because they started splashing a little water. And I was like, guys, you want to be careful not to splash water on the floor when you do this. And they're like, why? I said, why is that? And they said, because you don't want your mom to get mad at you. And I said, no, let's think about this. What might be in the toilet when it's clogged up? And then they all went, oh.
Logic.
Yeah.
Is that you?
It's not me. It has to be the tire changers there with Mark.
The clang? Yeah, that was them dropping something.
Well, I can hear some people talking, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can move. Let me move. I'll move to a different area of the parking lot. It's quieter. I parked someplace where it's convenient for me to drop off my kids, but I can go to the far edge.
And this one's for Mark.
Just gotta get those little legs moving. Come on.
Hit the theme. Hit the theme. It's movie sign.
Is it movie sign time? Okay, let me get there. Oops. Gotta reset that. Okay.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 84th live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from an undisclosed location hidden deep beneath the surface of the earth. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey there.
And the Mrs.
Hello.
And Tim Turner is here as well.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, Tim. All right. So everybody's doing okay today?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was hot today. You know how I love
was hot
summertime. Yeah, like 75 degrees. I hate that.
Yep. And it's gonna be
I
getting worse.
know. Until November, it's going to be hot like this.
75. It's 84
Yeah.
where I'm at, and I'm thinking it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you probably have less humidity and more altitude, but yep, no, we're probably we're headed up on temperature.
And the sun was shining. Sunshine.
And although we may be heading up in temperature, the other things that aren't heading up so much are resident of the White House Magoo.
Oh no,
announced
wait,
his real-
we can't start just yet because you know
Why?
how I'm always looking for fun and interesting things to bring to you. I have a funny, interesting thing tonight. And what I have is from the movie The Shining, starring Jack Nicholson. And this is as they were getting ready to shoot that really iconic scene where Shelley Duvall has locked herself in the bathroom. And then Nicholson comes in and breaks the door down with an axe and sticks his face through the door and says, "Here's Johnny." This is a video of him getting himself pumped up to film that scene. Here it is. So, guys, flip over so you can see this.
I have.
And then the real scene. And that's it. So I thought that was kind of cool. So that was my cool thing for the week for you.
Okay.
Okay, you may commence.
Okay. Resident of the White House Magoo announced his re-election campaign last week. We covered that. You know, being dangerously close to news, as we will be later. We'll be dangerously close to breaking news later. And that means his lapdogs hit the Sunday shows over the weekend to tout his amazing first-term achievement. You know, like our completely not at all panicked withdrawal from Afghanistan, the complete security of our southern border, the completely sound banks. Among them, of course, was Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, who sounds like an instrument one would play. I'm going to play the Mayorkas tonight.
He sounds like somebody that snuck across the border.
Yeah, who was on Meet the Press and got the "Is Biden too old?" question from Chuck Todd.
I want to ask you, you're in cabinet meetings. There's a lot of questions about President Biden and his ability to serve in a second term. You see him up close, face to face. What say you? Is he up for a second term?
Oh, Chuck, 100%. Incredibly sharp, incredibly probing, incredible command of the details, probing on the details, asking tough questions. Absolutely. I'm incredibly proud to serve in his administration. I am incredibly proud of the work that we have done across the board.
You're full confidence he can serve a second term?
100%.
Wow, he's an incredible liar.
I know. Can you believe that?
The other thing is he looks like one of those fish people from like H.P. Lovecraft would write about.
So, I was thinking as I was just watching this, because I've always felt just from that clip that he really reminded me of someone. And it's Brad Dourif. You know who I'm talking about, that guy?
Yep.
Yeah. It's the facial expressions.
Now, Tim
When
has a
Brad Dourif is
question.
playing something with someone crazy.
And we skip here. Tim has a question. So, could we put the B&B logo up 15 minutes early, no audio or anything, so that everybody knows that the broadcast is going to be starting in 15 minutes? Is there a way that you can do that?
No. I'm just kidding. I'm not even in charge of it.
We just can't talk to each other. I mean, we could talk to each other, and then I would just have to kill my music. Tim just doesn't want me to be able to listen to music, just like John. He's want to deprive me of my music.
Music was okay.
No, it's actually YouTube that won't let me play the music.
And it was a credible. It was
Audio Slave, wasn't it? That's what was playing.
Yeah, well, it was a credible remake of Vanishing Point.
Yeah. Well, that was their actual music video, and they used Vanishing Point in the music video.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
for "Show Me How to Live," I think that was the song that was playing. Yeah.
Okay. So by the way, did you know that the Chinese have?
No, wait! You skipped a part here of who Mayorkas looks like, because he's a dead ringer for whom you mentioned. But I think really, do you remember the TV show Fringe? This guy from Fringe.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think this one's actually closer, but you all can be the judge as to which one of these two people Mayorkas looks more like.
I know. I'm still gonna have to go with the deep ones from Innsmouth.
Yeah. You got to go with He just looks too evil. And, honestly, I would trust the guy from Fringe or Gollum more than I trust Mayorkas. So,
That's probably true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. All right. Did you know that the Chinese have upgraded their spy balloon game from balloon to blimp? CNN's senior national security correspondent Alex Marquardt has the exchange.
But a blimp is a lot more sophisticated. It's more maneuverable. It's more navigable. As one expert, the one expert we spoke with likened it to a submarine in the skies, which has its own, we believe, propulsion and navigation system. And what this blimp would do is carry out what's called ISR, or intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. So it really does represent, according to a number of experts we spoke with, real progress in their airship program.
I'm just wondering if that guy can swallow any more during that report.
And also, literally the worst analogy I've ever heard. It's like a submarine
in the sky.
You mean like a balloon? It is balloon.
No, it's a blimp.
Well, you know what? It's a good thing because we have a song just for that.
Yeah, it allows us to whip this one out one more time.
Would you like to ride in my Chinese spy balloon? Would you like to ride in my Chinese spy balloon? We will float toward Miles Red Star together, you and I, or else we'll die. Up and away in my Chinese spy balloon. You'll all do what we say in our Chinese spy balloon. It's just the commie way in our Chinese spy balloon. We will float across the vast U.S. while our brave leader tells the lie, or else we'll die. Up and away in my Chinese spy balloon. It is balloon! Suspended under a twilight canopy. We'll know all your new bases belong to us.
If somehow I find an F-15 trailing me,
we'll just make a big fuss as the earth comes up to meet us. Up and away in my Chinese spy balloon.
Up and away. Up and away.
It is balloon!
Up and away.
It is balloon!
I think that we're going to run into a day where we go, remember the good old days when all we worried about was a Chinese spy balloon?
I know.
We were so innocent then.
Back when things were so simple.
Back when things were so simple. Before, well, we'll get into that later, I guess. Earlier this week, Elon Musk, of course he did, sat down with Bill Maher for 20 minutes in a one-on-one interview. The pair opened the conversation with a fairly Musk-Maher sort of way, and Elon exposes himself as an evil villain.
I love it that you have a sense of humor, because a guy as important as you, who makes changes, could use your powers for evil and not good. The fact that...
Absolutely.
You could.
I would, of course, never use them for evil. That's
no, I
crazy.
know. But the way I know that is because you have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You really do.
I
You
try
like,
to.
yeah, you like laughing. You like to be funny.
I kill me.
Right. No, as opposed to somebody like Zuckerberg, who I'm not even sure is a real boy.
Oh, that's pretty funny. And that's one thing that is really true about the Elon is that he does have a sense of humor. He has a sense of humor about himself. I mean, he'll lose $150 billion in a month, and he'll go, whatever.
And he's very firmly on the side of free speech. You know, Elon's been, he was the darling of the left, right? Because of the Tesla. And now he's kind of become the darling of the right, but he's really not really either one. I mean, if you can say he is really a true independent, I think probably he is one. And I think he considers himself that too.
Mark, what are your thoughts on the Elon?
Yeah, I think politically he's probably closer to being libertarian than anything.
Which explains why everyone hates him, right?
Yeah, everyone hates him. And with as much money as he has, he can just do pretty much whatever he wants to. So I guess he's got that going for him. But they did get down to actual business and asked Musk about the woke mind virus.
I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic, and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech. Those are two of the aspects of the woke mind virus that I think are very dangerous. Is that it's often anti-meritocratic. You can't question things. Even the questioning is bad. So, another way to almost synonymous would be cancel culture. And obviously, people have tried to cancel you many times.
Many times.
Yeah, I mean,
every week.
Yeah.
From left and right. I've had it from both sides.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. People, you and I are both like in that little group of people. Maybe it's a bigger group now.
Yeah.
Who are called conservative, who haven't really changed. I don't think of you as a conservative.
I'm definitely, I at least think of myself as a moderate.
Sorry, I gave you the wrong out cue on that one.
No,
I cut it a little earlier.
I was looking frantically for the mute button because I was coughing my lungs up when I was off. Oh, and Willie
Well,
notes
you need to stop. You need to stop using the mustard gas.
That's it.
It makes the sandwiches so spicy. Willie notes that once everyone gets their Neuralink implant, and he gets a few more satellites up. So the Neuralink is kind of scary because it's not like that's the
it's not as scary as the AI stuff, which Elon has been one of the few people who says, "Hey, we need to put the brakes on the AI." Speaking of that, did you hear the main AI person from Google quit the other day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for exactly that reason. Yeah, stop this.
He said it's going. He really thinks that it's passed the Turing test and it can be considered alive. So there's that. All right. A new survey released last week by the Centers for Disease Control has found a sharp rise in the number of American high school students who self-report as being LGBT.
Wait. The Prime Minister of Canada has this.
Mm-hmm.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
It never gets old.
Well, but regardless, here's the creepy news bot with the story.
The CDC says the number of LGBTQ students went from 11% in 2015 to 26% in 2021. Among high school students, 12.2% identified as bisexual, 5.2% as questioning, 3.9% as other, 3.2% is gay or lesbian, and 1.8% said they didn't understand the question.
I'm going to pause Creepy News Bot there just to say that might be the most high schoolish and my favorite answer of the entire survey. I didn't understand the question. Okay, Newsbot can continue.
The survey included more than 17,000 high school students and found that Of those surveyed, 57% have had no sexual contact in their lives. 34.6% had sexual contact with someone of the opposite sex.
Whoa, where do we go?
Yeah, whatever.
But it still shows that it's playing.
Well,
I don't know what happened there. Yeah.
It
Anyway,
is-
what it just finished saying is that 6% had reported sex with both sexes, and only 2.4% had had sexual experience with people of the same sex. Meanwhile, a whopping 57% said, "I've never had. Nobody wants to touch me." So.
Oh, yeah.
I went O for high school.
Well, and you're finding that a lot now, and the attitudes of kids about sex have really changed. They had a group of kids watching, not Porky's. What was that one with American Pie? And they were just appalled at the behaviors. They found the behaviors of the children then problematic, and I thought, being a kid has changed a lot.
I guess one thing we'll see is that the demographic decline that we're already on the cusp of it is going to occur faster than anyone thought.
Well, and a lot of it is that I've kind of seen this trend amongst young women in their 20s, we'll say, for about the past 15 years or so. Like, a male wanting to talk to them is somehow some sort of aggression. Like, how do you think you're going to get a date if they don't talk to you? You know?
It depends on the male.
Right, exactly. It's the Tom Brady rule.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Go ahead and explain that.
That's right. I'll let you.
No, go ahead.
I'll let you.
I don't remember exactly how it is that you often phrase it, because really most of the time you talk, I'm half listening, so. Because we've been married for a long time.
The short answer is Tom Brady can get away with saying anything. All you have to do is just be attractive. Be attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And wealthy.
And rule 2, don't be unattractive.
Well, being attractive is 100%. You're good with 100% with being attractive. Being attractive and wealthy helps. Being old and wealthy helps. Because, wow, he's 82.
No, being attractive and wealthy helps when you're old.
No,
yeah, just look at, what was her name? Anna Nicole Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And her late, really ancient husband.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's quit bemoaning the youth and let's talk about you can buy just about anything online these days. An Arkansas woman has just proven. KFSM Channel 5 Fayetteville has the story.
U.S. Marshals, they arrest an Arkansas woman accused of selling human body parts on Facebook Messenger. According to court documents, a Pennsylvania man was arrested for having buckets of human remains he allegedly brought illegally from an Arkansas woman on Facebook. Now, during the investigation, police were able to determine that the Pennsylvania man, Jeremy Pauley, purchased the remains from Arkansan Candace Scott. Now, those Facebook messages, they showed that Scott sold Pauley several human remains for about $4,000. The body parts were shipped and sent to Pauley through the U.S. Postal Service. Authorities discovered that Candace Scott was stealing the remains from a mortuary owned by the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences.
Sure, the University of Arkansas really appreciates their name being associated with this story.
Yes. And we didn't notice.
Yeah. So here's the seller, the woman in the picture, and the buyer, Mr. Pauley, who looks about like you'd expect a man who buys human body parts on Facebook Marketplace to look.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's not good.
I bet he gets a lot of dates.
Well, there's sort of a Tom Brady type of rule here too, though. I mean, if they'd been representatives of different medical schools or universities or even medical companies, there wouldn't have been an issue. I mean, other than maybe the stealing in the first place, but.
So I did read a story once. I want to say this was in, I believe it might have even been Reader's Digest. This guy at work, they had to take the femur from the body for some sort of autopsy purposes. So they took the femur, and so boss says, "Well, I can't, we're going to cremate this. So what do I do?" He says, "Well, what I generally do is I generally take, a chair leg and I put it in there instead. And so the guy takes a chair leg from a chair that's in the morgue, and puts it in there, and they cremate him. And his boss comes back to him, a wooden chair leg, a wooden chair leg. Yeah, silly things. All right, caught by the kids.
And now, sometime in the future.
Hey, honey, isn't it nice to be an empty nester? The kids are all grown up and doing well, so now we can just spend some time together.
Yeah, but it sure is quiet around here.
Hey, you know what we could do? We could watch the Naked Channel. It's just the two of us for the first time in years. Rawr.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, let's see, where's that channel? Oh, here it is.
I'm the pizza boy. Hey, lady, did you order the 12-inch pepperoni?
Oh my. It's so hot outside today. You should come inside and take off some of your clothes.
I aim to please, and the customer is always right.
Mom, Dad, I'm home for a surprise visit.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Quick, change the
Oh my
channel.
God.
Where's the remote?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Where's the
Is
remote?
that that's your?
Change the channel! Change the channel! Quick!
Oh, that's your shoe! Oh my!
Change it!
That
Change
was
it!
my
Change
hand.
it!
Hey, what?
He's coming down the hall! Change it quick!
There it
Change
is. I found it.
Why, hello, Smoochy Bunny. Are you here today to learn about your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s? That's what you decide to change it to? Hey, kids, we're here to learn and have a good time.
What are you guys watching?
Children's programming?
And that's it.
Oh, you're goofing around on that one.
Yep. Not that it's ever happened in real life. No, certainly not.
All right. Well, let's go to Neil Young.
This is Neil Young.
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
And I'm proud to present my Braying Jackass of the Week.
Number one, the Center for Biological Diversity. We have three tonight. The Center for Biological Diversity, the American Bird Conservancy, Surfrider Foundation, Save Rio Grande Valley, and a cultural heritage organization, the Chorizo. Okay, no, sorry, I couldn't resist. The Carrizo Comecrudo Nation of Texas. These are all environmental groups. Can you guess what they're butthurt about? Can you guess, Mark?
The border wall.
No, Elon Musk.
The 5 environmental and cultural heritage nonprofits have sued the Federal Aviation Administration, alleging the agency violated the National Environment Policy Act when it allowed SpaceX to launch the largest rocket ever built from its Boca Chica, Texas, facility without a comprehensive environmental review. SpaceX's Starship Super Heavy test flight on April 20th blew up the company's launch pad, hurling chunks of concrete and metal sheets thousands of feet away into sensitive habitat, spreading particulate matter, including pulverized concrete for miles, and sparking a 3.5-acre fire on state parklands near the launch site. Of great concern to the groups are endangered species including the piping plover, the red knot, jaguarundi, northern oplomado falcon, and sea turtles including the Kemp's ridley. As of last Wednesday, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service had not found any carcasses of animals protected by the Endangered Species Act.
No plotting plovers were hurt in the production of this podcast.
Yeah, you know, that bothers me a lot because those are just the type of people that want to deprive us of the taste of endangered species.
Sea turtles are delicious in soup.
These people are Luddites, and I think we ought to round them and their attorneys up and shoot them to Mars and let them wander around up there without any artificial life support.
All right, so these people are tools. We know these people are tools, but we have our queen is up. Vice President Kamala Harris hit the campaign trail last week Speaking at an abortion rights event as her alma mater Howard University. Howard must be so proud when she vomited forth this doozy.
It's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future.
Of all the stupid things Kamala has said, that one was one I really couldn't follow.
Yeah, and it was.
What in God's name was she even trying to get to in that one?
It's a 6-year-old.
I don't know, but
space runner. A 6-year-old.
She always sounds like she's lecturing kindergartners.
Yes,
right.
Tim notes, geez, that patronizing voice. She manages to sound at the same time drunk, patronizing, and constipated.
Don't forget stupid.
Well, that goes without saying. I mean,
President Magoo and Vice President Halfwit. What a team.
No, okay.
Well,
But
you know, is that great movie, Stead? Going, what was it? Going through life, fat, drunk, and
fat, drunk, and stupid.
Is no way to go through life.
Well, we got more stupid coming up because again,
a late entry this week. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The White House dog washer, Karine Jean-Claude Van Damme-Pierre, who unleashed this whopper on behalf of the administration.
When it comes to illegal migration, you've seen it come down by more than 90%, and that's because of the actions that this president has taken.
You hear that? Illegal crossings of the border is down 90%.
Good Lord.
It's amazing.
So
90% from what? On Monday because they were all too tired?
They're all just getting warmed up, yeah.
Jim wonders if it can change to number 3. And of course you can, Jim. Because, all right, so we have on the first people aren't necessarily jackasses, they're just tools, my opinion. The second one, you know what? Call her a jackass, but
she is queen of the jackasses, though. She's hard to beat.
It was a bunch of words, but it was just stupid.
Yeah, but she's a heartbeat away from the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what she means by being aware of the history and moment or whatever.
I guess.
Heck she was talking about.
Space is very big.
And it's spacey. And it's not here, it's out there in space, where space is.
And it's existed a long time. Long before I was born.
Well, I'm going to go with number 3 just because the gaslighting involved in there just made me want to vomit.
I see that Jim wanted a 3 as well. Tim notes 2 is bad, 3 is idiotic. I think it may not be a complete and it might not be completely everyone voting for it, but you know what? Number 3 it is.
Yep. Applause for our official White House dog washer. The jackass of the week. And this has been Neil Young's Braying Jackass of the week. Now wait, just before we move on here, we had it happened this week, so I'll have to make another one this week. But last week, when AOC beat the vice president, that was the first time in the history of the Braying Jackass of the Week award that the vice president has been beaten. And so we have this nice little congratulations poster. I think we need to send a copy of this to AOC.
I think we should start sending copies of them.
Yes.
You won Jackass of the Week. And...
Yes.
Yep.
So for being a bigger jackass than Kamala, and KJP needs one too this week. So we'll get on that. Bravo for taking down the queen.
And once you get those, make sure when you get them off the printer, use latex gloves.
That's right.
And I'll mail them from a town some distance away. All right. And not that because there's anything wrong with we're already on the list. All right. it's time for
Think real fast.
And I was just checking for news updates. And guess what? There weren't any. So we'll start off with the.
So we don't
first
have.
one.
Do we have breaking news?
Oh, we do have breaking news.
Oh, well, you know what that means.
Breaking news.
Bombs over the Kremlin. Zelensky's at play in Helsinki. He'll currently stay. Mark, what are the odds that Kiev is a glowing ember tomorrow morning?
I'm going to put it pretty low because I don't think Putin's quite there yet.
All right. The missus, do you think that Russia's atomic weapons work as well as their tanks do?
Probably. I mean, that's kind of the rumor that we've heard about this whole thing, right? Is that this is just all bluster because none of their stuff works.
Even in the 1980s, I saw articles talking about how poor the Soviet weapons were. I can only imagine that it's gotten much worse.
Oh, Russia! It's like our, mildly, well, he has some mild mental issues. Anyway, for a country, but rumor has it that the long-awaited counteroffensive by the Ukrainians has just begun. Mark, will this look like just like World War I, but with selfies?
Well, only if they want to have someone track down where the selfies are being taken and hit it with a mortar. But yes, I think we're at the World War I stage of this war.
All right. The missus thinks Zelensky is going to stay in Helsinki because the weather is lovely this time of year.
I think there's a high likelihood of that. I mean, I think you're right. What if Russia just decides to go all in on this one, right? Isn't that Wilder's theory of absurdity or whatever you call that?
Wilder's theory of greatest amusement.
Right. Again, I'm always just kind of half listening. So what did you call it again? Where we just get the popcorn and watch what's going to happen. That's right.
All right. PacWest Bank Corp shares collapsed after the news that their management is weighing strategic options. Mark, Biden said this banking system was safe. Does this mean that there'll be no last helicopter leaving the Fed?
Well, it all depends on your perspective. If you're J.P. Morgan trying to snap up small competitors, then yeah, the banking system's safe.
And quick, we have a sound clip of Joe Biden actually working on the banking system.
And what am I doing here?
All right. The missus.
Yeah.
Does economics still make you really bored?
Yeah, it does, and I have sound for that. But you threw me a loop and surprised me, and so I wasn't ready for that. And so I'm kind of filling as I look for it, but I can't remember what it was called.
That's okay. I can move along because think real fast, not
I know, and that's the problem because I have 3 pages of sound bites here on my soundboard.
It depends on the type of economics. I mean, are we talking Keynesian, Austrian, or Viking?
Now you're gonna get her. You're gonna get her so bored.
I know, and I still can't find the freaking sound bite. I'll find it right at the end of the show.
Okay.
That's normally the way this happens.
Moving along, some broad calling herself the Secretary of the Army said the Army is going to miss its recruitment goal. Mark, isn't the proper title Administrative Assistant of the Army if a woman's doing it?
No, it would be typist.
The missus, do you think the Army will give Bud Lights to all new people who are drafted?
I think it will be required that's the only thing you can drink. As Joe Biden would say.
I can taste it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So next item, Bud Light sales are in a free fall, down 20%, some say. Mark, is Bud Light now known as a gender fluid?
Oh, wait.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
No, I think it's genderless fluid.
All right. So it also wouldn't be tranny fluid then either.
It's probably closer to brake fluid.
All right. The missus, do you think
Yeah.
they'll try to make up for this mistake by putting out a George Floyd can?
I think it would have been a better PR move than this one was. I don't think there's a lot of coming back from this one. Because now they're getting it from both sides, right? They're being pushed to,
Recently, all the sex activists were wanting Budweiser to double down in favor of women who really are guys.
Right.
Okay. Yep. All right. Moving along. This is just in. 3/4 of kids born in Minnesota are Somalis. Mark, will the magic soil make them all Minnesota Vikings fans, or will they be Green Bay fans?
Oh gosh, to be honest, I think they're all going to become Steelers fans.
The missus? In what year will Minnesota replace the title governor with warlord?
Judging by crime rates in big cities, it shouldn't be far off now.
And everyone knows it.
And you
Are you threatening me?
You're allowed.
Okay. Well, then my prediction will be 2033.
2033, that's a good number. I like it. All right. This is our last item for Think Real Fast. There's a writer's strike, which has shut down Kimmel and Colbert. Mark, what could we do to make them stay on strike forever?
Misgender them.
And the missus, Jim wanted to hear the soundbite from the Somali Minnesota story, massive cannibalism.
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem. Just a second. There it is.
Massive cannibalism.
Right there.
There we go.
Had that one at the ready.
All right. Then we're back to the writer's strike and back that Kimmel and Colbert are off the air. The missus, what would a leftist smug off? Kimmel or Colbert?
That's a difficult one to parse. I think I'll have to go with Jimmy. I think I'll have to go with Kimmel on that one because he actually cried on the air when it seemed like the government was going to take away his free health care. I don't know why a guy who's a millionaire needs free health care, but what do I know?
Well,
and everyone knows it.
Do you think they'll have to, clean up all the puddles of smug that they'll leave after they've done smugging?
I think they have to do that now. Yeah. Besides, they have little people for those jobs. People who are not in the country legally.
Or do you mean dwarves?
Both. Dwarves who are in the country illegally.
It'd be neat if there were actually magical dwarves. Then they could really just tunnel on in.
I actually read an argument on Facebook the other day about why actual dwarves, little people, were not cast in the Lord of the Rings to play the dwarves. And it was nerds explaining to jackasses that the dwarves in the Lord of the Rings weren't the same as dwarves that exist in reality. They were fantasy dwarves. I know. Oh, I never wanted a couple of hammers more and just put those two people in a ring. Have a little hammer fighting. Douchebag hammer fighting. Yeah.
Well, Mark, is there a subject we haven't covered tonight? Everything from atomic weapons to beer to the administrative assistant of the Army. Is there anything we missed?
Megastructures. I'd like to
Megastructures.
discuss ring worlds and orbital rings and Dyson spheres at some point.
I like those. I like those very much. All
and
right.
then again, here they would be the misses. See, I told you I'd find it.
and Tim, we did discuss sex because there's the whole commercial, the naughty commercial. So
That's right, we did.
We did cover that, and then we covered the LGBTQ kids and who aren't having sex. My gosh. All right. On that note.
Think real fast.
So you gave me the wrong cue on that because you forgot and you complained that it didn't have an outro.
Well, and that's a perfect outro.
I know.
And on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight on Bombs, Bants, and Wednesday Rants. It has been my pleasure. Everyone, have a wonderful evening. I'm John.
I'm Mark, I think.
I'm the missus, still playing with the soundboard.
Pew, pew, pew.
And our hat tip for Kamala.
She's such an idiot!
Y'all come back now, you hear?